everyone, it's Jamie. I'm standing for once because it is currently spring. It's like midway through September. The weather's finally nice. So, in the spirit of spring cleaning, which I don't actually do, partially because I'm bad at cleaning, partially because I just clean as I go, but my books, I have reorganized my main shelf because I have my favorite shelf there, which I love. And my favorite shelf will not be getting touched in this video because this video is the unhaul book challenge, which, yeah, I desperately need to do. Not desperately, I do have room on this shelf actually, as much as it maybe doesn't look like it. I am reorganizing, hence why all the knickknacks are kind of a mess. But the books themselves are all organized, but I look at my shelves and I go, wow, I don't want some of these, but I'm also just bad at unhauling. So here's an excuse to do it. There are, I think, 10 prompts. The goal is to get rid of 10 books. Get rid of more, all the better. I might get rid of more. So let's just do this. The first one is to get rid of a book that you rated low. And we've encountered our first issue already. I get rid of books I don't like. And the few times that I don't, it's like, you know, I don't like City of Fallen Angels, but it's the fourth in the Mortal Instruments series. I can't just get rid of it. I've got the whole series. So here I'm looking more at my standalones, which is here down. Standalone / first books in series. I don't think I have anything I rated less than 3 stars though, so I guess we're looking for a 3-star? I have one. Here we have The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, the first in the Wizard of Oz series. I read this on holiday. It is a quick, easy read that I thought was fine. I thought that it was perfectly average. The movie is better in every conceivable way. And it's not like I think about this very often. I'm sure as shit not gonna reread it. So, my first one. What's our little pile right here? Oh, the second one, again, we're already encountering challenges. I thought it's gonna get easier as it goes on, but a book that you changed your mind about. So I have 2 big options here. One, a book by a shitty person, because I have more of those than I would like. Or 2, a book that I just don't like as much anymore. I might try to get one for each actually. One book by a shitty person. And then one book that I just don't like anymore. Ooh, I have that. And then book by, or just a book I don't care about anymore, I have that too. Okay, I have both my books. Honestly, both are books that I don't love as much anymore, but one of them I'm specifically getting rid of because it's written by a pile of shit, and that is The Boy in the Striped Pajamas by John Boyne. I'm not getting rid of all my John Boyne books. One of his books still remains one of like my favorite books ever made, ever written, Jamie. So I won't be getting rid of that. But that only was given to me by my grandma who died, so it has that attachment to it as well. It was like the last thing she ever gave me, so that took me right to get rid of. This, however, I have no such attachment to. It's fine. It's better than the movie, but that's not saying much. I don't care about it, and he's a transphobic piece of shit, so that's fine. The other author I have no beef with. I actually think they're pretty great, but I just don't want it. That is This Is Where It Ends by American Ninja Camp, which I loved when I first read it. I read this back in 2016 when it came out. I bought it. I thought it was pretty great. And then over time I just like haven't thought about it in the years since. I never think about it. I think I gave it 4 stars originally. I'd probably put it down to a 3 now. I think if I reread it I wouldn't like it. It is important to me in some ways because it was like one of the first books I ever read that had like a main like sapphic romance, but I don't think about it. I don't think I would like it anymore. So both of these are joining the pile. Okay, number 3 is a series you won't be completing. Okay. All of my series I plan to complete, I think. Oh, I have one I could do for this. That would like genuinely happen. Because with a lot of books where it's like it's one in a series that I won't be completing, it's like I know that when I finish reading it, like I'm not gonna read any more books in the like Child 44 series or whatever it's called, but I really like this book. I just don't give a shit about the rest of it. So I'm not gonna get rid of it because I still like it. Okay. Okay, I have 2 books from a series that I don't care to read. This is the A Waltz to Matilda series, or just the Matilda Saga, I think it's called, by Jackie French. I've read the first 3 books, A Waltz to Matilda, shit, what are the other 2 called? The Girl from Snowy River and The Road to Gundagai. And I really loved those. Matilda's one of my favorite books, but I own the 4th and 5th books, and I don't care about them. To Love a Sunburnt Country and The Ghost by the Billabong. I've owned these for years. I've owned these practically since they came out. These are some of the first books that I bought. And I've never even really wanted to read them. So I love those original 3 books. I will keep those original 3 books. Because I plan to reread at least Matilda. But I don't need these. A book you DNF'd. Okay. I mean, not to call myself out, I could definitely do that with some books I'm currently reading, but I'm not ready for that conversation. Maybe I don't. Again, I'm too stubborn to put down a book and not pick it back up eventually. I don't think I have one. So instead, let's find, I just saw one. Another book I changed my mind about, kind of. Let's explain. Frayed by Kara Terzis, which if you can see up there, aka Wattpad favorite Kara_Rad. So this is a Wattpad novel that I read as a Wattpad novel back in, Jesus, when was this published? Published in 2016. I think I read that, I was in year 8 at the time. But basically this is a YA thriller. So I was like 13 when I read it, I think. But it's about this girl Ava whose sister was murdered. And she's trying to find out who it is. And I'm going to fully spoil this for you because in hindsight, fuck is it problematic. So her sister Kesley was murdered. And she's trying to figure out who it was. And it turns out it was her because she has DID. Which at the time I thought was mind-blowing, by the way. Bad. This is my substitute for that. I did always plan to reread it, which is why I bought it. I don't know why I thought that. That's ridiculous of me. Book you have multiple copies of. Generally, if I have multiple copies, it's because I fucking love the book. I have multiple copies of, Radio Silence, which is one of my favorite books ever. Same with The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. Are there any books, though, where I, own multiple copies of it and I, don't care to own multiple copies? I might have a really good answer for this, but we'll see if I can get there. So, I'm gonna get rid of my other copies of the first 2 Harry Potter books. I don't think I need to explain why. J.K. Turfling has just announced, or it has just been announced, of her new book with a, by the looks of it, I think it is literally a, trans serial killer. I really thought that with Silence of the Lambs that would have died out, but nothing can stop J.K. Turfling, so I'm not quite at the point where I'm going to get rid of my actual Harry Potter series, though I will literally never talk about that series in a positive context, thank you. I am definitely at the point where I can get rid of these books, though, especially because they're large and take a lot of space, and yeah. Bye-bye. I would not be surprised if by the end of the year this whole thing is gone. It's also, they're just, kind of a pain to get rid of because it's, 7 books. Plus the Fantastic Beasts book, which I defiled, so. A book you'll never actually get to. Call me out, why don't you? What's a book that I'm never gonna read? And I just need to get real with myself that I'm never gonna read. Here's one actually right off the bat. Grace of Fury by Tracy Bangerhard. I don't know why I ever bought this because I didn't even hear great things about it. I think it's the concept so much. When was this? This was at a time when I was buying a lot of books for some reason. This was 2018? Yeah, 2018. For some reason, being a senior in high school with no money made me really want to buy books. So, this can definitely. Bam. Book you bought because of the hype. Definitely done this. Now covering a whole thing of shelves. That's it, fine. Book I bought because of the hype. Let's show them. I feel like I'm focusing a lot on the top couple shelves. These 2 shelves are mostly untouched because they're series that I love. Whereas these ones are just random books. I feel like I'm pulling a lot from the upper shelves. Let's put it at the bottom. What's a book I bought because of the hype? You know what? I'm never gonna read The Martian. I like the movie well enough. I watched it so many years ago. I remember vague things about it. I remember the fanfiction being pretty good, but like other than that. And Andy Weir's other books that meant to be like piles of crap. So I don't care. I will say, one thing that made me feel good is looking at this stack, seeing multiple books I got from Savers, which means that at least I didn't spend too much money on them and didn't waste that much. A book you bought because of the cover. A thing I don't actually... I have a perfect example of this, never mind. So, for those of you who don't know, my favourite all-time actor is Tom Hardy. It's actually his birthday today that I'm filming this, so like, how fortuitous, but he's in a lot of movies that are adapted from books, and I have been known to just buy a fucking book because he's on the cover. The thing is though, it's worked out mostly. First I bought The Drop, which I ended up loving more than the movie, and then I bought Child 44, as I said, which ended up being so much better than the movie and has like one of my favourite quotes of all time. So then I decided to do a third time, and I don't really want to jinx myself because I think this third time's going to really go well. I also bought Lawless, which is not only a movie I don't like, because I don't like Child 44 either, the movie, but Child 44 had good bones. I don't know if this has any bones at all. It's also so male, and I don't want to read that much about like men, you know? I'm good with like toxic masculinity. Watching the movie is probably more fun. If I watch the movie, I can see Jessica Chastain in it. So yeah, let's get rid of this. I have at least one friend that is applauding me because they very recently told me I needed to get rid of it and I refused to. So this is for you. A book that you don't know anything about. I don't actually know if I have an answer for this. I tend to know what my books are about. There are any books I know like nothing about, like not even like the genre or anything really. There's some books where like you intentionally don't want to know anything about them, like I don't really know anything about like The Gold or The Gifts, but I don't want to know anything, that's why I want to read it, you know? You know what, here's one. It's the book I got from the library. You Had Me at Hello by Vira McFarlane. I think I just heard she was a good author. I know this is a romance and that's about it, and I'm kind of picky with my romance as much as like it's one of my favourite genres, so... It's like a second chance romance, which isn't my thing anyway. Yeah, we don't need this. I don't need this amount anymore. Finally, a book you didn't buy. I tend to get rid of these books pretty quickly, honestly, if I don't want them, because I'm quite ruthless. Oh, I told the person, but let's see if I can find something that I didn't buy. It could be a book I read I didn't buy too. I think I like those though. Also, sometimes I can't remember. That's actually a really, really good answer. Let's do it. I'm also getting rid of some books that I'm never going to read in this. So, this right here is a copy of The Hobbit. I didn't buy this. I got it from my aunt. Let me see. Do I still... Yeah, because I thought I would read it, and then I never did. I never really had the inclination to. And the thing is, I also own the first and third Lord of the Rings books, which I got really cheap. And then I watched all of the movies, and I didn't love them. The Hobbit movies are abysmal, but like I didn't even... I liked the Lord of the Rings movies. I wasn't super into them. So... Like Owen. Ooh, let's see if I can carry this. And we have it. Oh, I don't think I have the upper body strength for this. A stack of books I am going to be getting rid of. Don't need to save it most likely. 1, 2, 3, 4. If my count's right, 14 or 15. Nailed it. Yeah, my shelves are looking a bit empty. But I think, you know, nature is healing. I'm gonna put these down now because my arms are starting to really hurt. So, this has been a very successful unhaul challenge, I think. Yeah. If you liked this, comment, like, etc. do whatever makes you happy. I'm planning on actually doing some stuff on this channel in the near future. I have some ideas, none of them bookish, because why stay on brand? But yeah, I hope to see you next time. Hopefully not with already 15 new books to replace these ones, but knowing me, it's at least a possibility. Bye!